Okay, so it's time to look at the money. Let's jump right into it. Now, remember that this is a quick overview. I will get to the exact details in the steps themselves. We're going to be using a 6 to the nth power system. In short, you enroll. Then 6 people go under you. Then 6 more people go under each of those 6, etc. Don't worry, I'll show you the easy setup to having the 6 you need when we go through the steps. Now, we're going to call each level of 6 people a wave. For example, if we were dealing in waves of 2, then you would have yourself here. Then the 2 under you would be your first wave. Then each of those people has 2 under them, totaling 4. So 4 would be your second wave, and so on. Now, remember, we are dealing in waves of 6, like this. Yeah, it grows pretty fast. Now, like I said, this is zero risk from start to finish. To make that easy, let's pretend that you make $1,000 per month and you've decided to try out the NP4 system. Just keep that $1,000 a month in mind. So to start, we have Lioness, our launcher. Lioness is zero risk. There is no cost to have Lioness pay you money. So your $1,000 per month is safe. Now in Lioness, your goal is to make yourself about $1 per month just following the steps. Then, when the first wave of 6 under you is complete in Lioness, you will be making $9 per month off of your first wave, plus the dollar that you're making yourself. This totals $10 per month. This takes us to IQ Life. Now we start off IQ Life in the free zone, but to make money in IQ Life, you have to be a paying affiliate. Now they have several different levels, but we're only going to need the smallest one in the beginning, which is the $9.95 per month. Since we are now making $10 per month off of Lioness, we can pay the $9.95 in IQ Life per month without worrying about going below our $1,000 per month normal income. From here, your second wave in Lioness will go through. You'll be getting an extra $54 per month. Plus, this also means that your first wave in IQ Life will go through. Think, once the 6 below you have their 6 people in Lioness, then they will have enough to cover IQ Life risk-free. So they will be right behind you. After that, your second wave in IQ Life will go through, and so on. Keep in mind, IQ Life pays on several levels, unlike Lioness. That being said, when we add your Lioness earnings, which are now $64 per month, and your IQ Life earnings after 2 waves, then we will have what you need to cover Power Lead, which is $54 per month, plus a startup payment of $12 for a domain. Notice, Lioness already covers the cost of IQ Life and Power Lead per month. It just doesn't cover the $12 startup for the domain. But IQ Life will handle that, so that you still don't have any risk of losing money. Once again, we are using what we already earned through the system to pay for the next network in the portfolio so that we haven't dropped below our $1,000 a month normal income. Now, at this point, you obviously see where this is going and how this system is 100% risk-free, but I definitely want you to see what's about to happen. With Power Lead as our game changer, the amount of money you make starts to make the impact you've been hoping for. Power Lead will grow fast, and it has the potential to continuously expand. When your first wave in Power Lead is complete, you are making $60 per month. However, when your second wave of people, those 36, are in Power Lead, then you're making $600 per month. So this game changer truly lives up to its title, and that's just in the first 2 waves. The last network we will bring into play is Genesis Pure, our snowballer. Now the cost of Genesis Pure is normally about $150 per month, depending on what you would like to try. So you won't even need your entire second wave to join in Power Lead before you can join into Genesis Pure. Genesis Pure completes our portfolio and simply continues to grow indefinitely. Now, there's no way that I can exactly track how much you are going to make in Genesis Pure because Genesis Pure grows based on those above you as well as those below you. In other words, the more people that your upline enrolls into Genesis Pure, the more money you make, as well as the more people that your downline enrolls in Genesis Pure, the more money you make. There's no way for me to track that. In addition, Genesis Pure also has other special offers, such as various check matching bonuses that'll give you additional percentages of what your downline is making. So I still have no way of tracking exactly what you're going to make, but what I can give you is what I'd like to say is a worst case scenario. At the worst, this is what you would make in Genesis Pure. This would be your first wave. This would be your second wave. This would be your third wave. This would be your fourth wave. This would be your fifth wave. And don't worry, I'll explain it more in detail when we get to that step. Now that you have an idea of how the system works, let's take one more look at that list. 100% risk-free permanently, appeals to everyone, easy to use, easy to share, requires little work, high earnings, upline needs to directly, not just indirectly, benefit the downline, no danger of a chain reaction collapse, and a simple and perfect step-by-step plan. You now see that this is always 100% risk-free. You start with a free network and only use the earnings of it to move to the next network and so on. The appeals to everyone concept is clear. With Lioness, you are living your normal life, no requirement to change it. Plus, we know social media is a huge market in today's world, which gives IQ Life appeal. Not to mention that the health industry is an enormous draw to our society, and Genesis Pure is at the top of it. But what about easy to use, easy to share, and requires little work? It definitely seems complicated. Well, believe it or not, Lioness is really the only network that actually requires you to do anything, and its only requirement is to live your normal life through Lioness. It may surprise you, but if you join IQ Life and you don't really use it, and then you join PowerLead and you don't really use it either, and then later you join Genesis Pure and you don't really use it either, you still make the same income projected. Plus, finding the 6 you need to join under you is quick and easy. Just wait until you see it in the steps to come. While I realize that saying the words, "trust me," to a skeptic is pointless, I simply remind you that if you think the steps are too much work, then you will have proven me wrong. Give them a try. You have nothing to lose. Now back to our list. High earnings are obvious, and because of Genesis Pure, we now have our upline directly putting money into the pocket of our downline, you. So that leaves the chain reaction collapse problem. Why is NP4 invulnerable to chain reaction collapse? I must admit, it took me a long time to figure out how to create a system that couldn't collapse, and yet the answer turned out to be pretty obvious. The key to eliminating the threat of the chain reaction collapse is to make sure that every person enrolled in the system is always happy, always successful, so to speak. To do this, I designed NP4 so that you are only moving forward based on the success of those below you. Take a quick look. You're in Lioness paying nothing. You're saving a little money on your life, and that's fine. You're not losing, you're gaining. So, you're happy. Once you have your 6 under you doing exactly what you're doing, then they're happy, and that means you can move to IQ Life. Just like you were happy, as you move forward into a little more money in IQ Life, you move into a little more success and happiness. Then, when they have their 6, they move on to a little more money in IQ Life, a little more success and happiness. So when the second wave is complete, they move forward just like you did. That also means that you move to PowerLead, once again a little happier and a little more successful, with those behind you following the same path. Once those in IQ Life are experiencing more success, more happiness, then they move to PowerLead, which leads you to Genesis Pure. And now you can start giving back to them through Genesis Pure, as well as a hero account, which I'll explain later. That explanation may or may not seem a little confusing, but just remember this. If everyone below you is happy and making money, then they won't quit the system. If you only move forward when you know that those people below you are always happy, then you know that they will always be there, and that means it's safe to take the next step. So, I hope you have enjoyed our overview series, but now it's time to start making money. So let's move on to the steps.